Hey everyone, MimiVix here with a Final Fantasy XIV Battle Guide video. This time I am looking at Kam'lanaut, the younger of the Zillartian brothers from the second 24-man raid, Sandoria the Second Walk. I've seen a few bouts of confusion during this encounter, and I just want to try and help clear some things up, so hopefully this will help. More guides are on the way, so let's jump right in. After a quick flashbang, and shortly after you are welcomed into his arena, he will use Inspirited Swordplay, a raid-wide that hits pretty hard. He will then jump to the center of the room and use Proving Ground, which will spawn a bleed puddle beneath his feet, making passing through him dangerous. He will begin casting Elemental Blade, which will charge a set of elements to his blade, which you will have to keep track of. In this encounter, he channeled Fire and Wind. Sublime Elements will place cone AoEs of all the elements on the floor, but we want to stay away from the ones that he channeled, as they will expand before the cast finishes, and then all of the elements will explode. Another Elemental Blade to memorize. This time he channeled Water and Ice, but I wasn't paying attention here. Followed by another Sublime Elements, but this time the AoEs will be lines across the field. Complete this the same way as the previous by moving away from the channeled elements. Princely Blow is the tank buster. Its hitbox is wider than the indicators and has a knockback, which you can use knockback immunities to negate if needed. He will follow this with Light Blade, spawning swords of light on the field. Try and stand on the hilt side of these, as they will fly where they are pointing. As the blades are resolving, the boss will use Great Wheel, a point-blank AoE, followed by a pivot into a 180-degree cleave. The pivot tends to catch people off guard, so be careful. Another Inspirited Swordplay will go off, Shield and Heal, as the boss will reposition to the center of the room and use Esoteric Scrivening, which will spawn the crystals into the room. And after a moment, trigger the elevator to move and halt almost all of your DPS as the elevator rises. Dark Knight Shadow, as well as your dots, will still be in effect here. It's a very nice elevator ride, albeit a bit flashy. Once the elevator reaches the top, he will unleash the raid-wide. Be careful, as you can now fall off the platform. That tank buster just got a lot more risky. He will cast Transcendent Union, which is a heavy-hitting raid-wide that hits multiple times, so healers be ready with those shields and heals. Kam'lanaut will then teleport to the middle of the arena and use Esoteric Palisade, which will make the 3 branching platforms unsafe to use, narrowing your safe zone to only the circular arena while also spawning crystals onto the floor. He will channel elements, and you need to move away from the crystal that is the same element, as a large AoE will spawn around it. After the second blast goes off, the boss will target random players with Empyrean Banish 3 AoE markers. Spread these out while avoiding the burst. The boss will then use Illumed Facet, creating clones of himself in the field. These clones will do a line attack through themselves, creating an asterisk pattern. My anytime strat for this is to find 2 hexagonal shapes on the room's floor and position yourself between them, and then move near the edge of the room. He will follow this attack with Shield Bash, which is a knockback, so run toward the boss while making sure you are positioned to land on one of the extending bridges. As the knockback concludes, a player will be targeted with Imperial Banish 4, a heavy-hitting stack marker, so shield and heal as necessary. This is followed by Princely Blow. Tanks, you will want to try and position yourselves so that you are lined up with the bridges so that you do not get knocked off the platform. Knockback immunities work here. This gets a little chaotic as tanks may not reposition and have everyone else adjust, so remember that the tank buster is wider than it looks. The boss will return to the middle of the room and use Proving Ground, spawning the familiar bleed puddle beneath him, making traversal a little more treacherous. He will follow up with another Elemental Blade, this time increasing the number of charges from 2 to 3. He used Ice, Fire, and Earth for me before using Sublime Elements, spawning cone AoEs on the floor. Find and move carefully to the safe zones while not stepping in the bleed puddle or falling off the platform. Light Blade will follow, this time also targeting players with Empyrean Banish 3 AoEs that need to be spread while also avoiding the blades as they launch. This will also dispel the bleed puddle beneath him. He will follow this with another Great Wheel attack that will be combined with Empyrean Banish 4. Be mindful that he will pivot after the first swing of Great Wheel, so you will want to move the stack marker so that it is behind him. This combination alone has wiped many groups I've been in. Kam'lanaut will use another Inspirited Sword play before moving back to the center of the room and using Esoteric Palisade once again, making the extended bridges dangerous and spawning more crystals to the field. This time, 2 crystals will burst at the same time, making the safe zone much smaller. You can and will die if you take 2 of these attacks at once. Don't ask me how I know this. Just don't. Another Light Blade cast, so move to the safe area or lanes while spreading out your AoEs. Be mindful of the ledge. More Elemental Chaos will follow, concluding with an Illumed Facet and Shield Bash combo. 2 of the 3 bridges are now no longer safe, and you will need to identify which bridge is safe. More often than not, it tends to be on one of Kam'lanaut's sides, so position yourself just outside of his hitbox. Knockback immunities do work here, so you can use that if you feel uncomfortable. Another Empyrean Banish 4 stack marker will go out as you are returning to the middle of the room, followed by Proving Ground, so reposition away from the boss's center after the stack has resolved. His mechanics will begin to repeat with Elemental Blade into Sublime Elements. Keep track of the elements charged and move to the safe zones accordingly. This will be followed by another Inspirited Swordplay cast, shield, heal, and mitigate as needed. Another Princely Blow to watch out for. Tanks be ready with those cooldowns. Keep at it and soon the boss will fall and collect that sweet loot. Mostly the music scrolls, so let's be real. I really do hope that this helps clear up some of this fight's mechanics. There is a lot going on, so the chaos makes it more difficult than I feel that it really is. Do keep in mind that your whole party, not alliance, if they die, you can lose your level 3 limit break. It's a wonderful aspect of the game. As I've said before, I'm working on other guides, so I'll try to get them out as soon as possible, along with another lore video that I've been researching for the past month. But until next time, have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you guys in the next video.